Hello! Good morning everyone! Nandito na naman muli si Tutor Malos, magbibigay sa inyo ng karagdagang kaalaman sa Principles of Marketing. Ako'y nakakasama nyo every Friday, 11:30 to 12 p.m. Ang ating topic for this week ay the marketing plan. Pero bago muna tayo magsimula, magkaroon tayo ng quick review sa quarter 4, week 5. So ang tanong ko ay, what are the steps of the marketing process? Sige nga, paki-type in. Tingnan natin kung naaalala ninyo. Okay? So bago tayo magtuloy-tuloy, no, paki-type in nyo. Magbabati lang muna ako. Nagpapasalamat ako sa aming buting principal na si Doc Vic Butron, no? At saka yung aking ABM ko or na si Ma'am Hanel Evangelista. Nagpapasalamat ako sa suporta nila kasi actually ongoing ang aming Stakeholders Conference 2022. It's a big event no, wherein pinapasalamatan namin ang aming mga stakeholders. Pero dahil medyo nasabay siya sa aking ituloy session, ayun, medyo pinayagan naman ako na may part na mag-leave ako doon sa event. Okay, so sige nga, tingnan natin kung nasagutan ninyo. Ayan. So ito yung the marketing process. So ang unang step, i-analyze natin yung marketing opportunity. And then afterwards, select tayo ng target markets natin. And pag na-select na natin yung target markets natin, magde-design na tayo ngayon ng marketing strategies. And afterwards, tayo naman ay magpa-plan ng marketing programs. And the last step ay mag-o-organize tayo and implement at magko-control ng marketing effort. So naalala na ba? I do hope. Okay, so mabalik tayo. Ang ating topic for this week ay yung the marketing plan. Naku, ito na yung pinaka-big project ng Principles of Marketing. Marami ang natatakot na gumawa ng marketing plan. Most probably, hindi lang siguro sila guided o hindi nila alam ang gagawin. Kaya yun na ngayon ang ituturo ko sa inyo para hindi naman kayong kabahan na mag-formulate nito. Okay? So, heto na. So at the end of our tutorial, you are expected to integrate the marketing concepts and techniques learned by preparing a marketing plan. Okay? So sana makabuo tayo ng papel man lang. Okay? After neto. So, balikan natin, no? I-recall natin. Actually, na-define ko na siya last week, pero ulitin ko lang. So, ano nga ba ang marketing plan? It is a document describing the current market position of a business and strategies designed to accomplish its objectives. So, ito daw ang nagsaserve na roadmap for a business enterprise para ma-achieve ang financial, operational, and societal goal. So, since yun nga, beginner pa lang naman tayo sa paggawa ng marketing plan, heto yung mini marketing plan template na pwede ko i-suggest sa inyo. Okay? So, first, yung executive summary. Yung part 2, study background, wherein ini-include neto ang brief history of the company. B, mission and vision. C, product or service offerings. Yung part 3 naman, yung macro-environmental analysis, wherein included doon ang PESTEL, di ba? I do hope na re-recall nyo ang PESTEL analysis. And then, from there, mapo-formulate na natin ngayon or madidetermine natin ang opportunities and threats. And then, yung micro-environmental analysis, wherein included ang the company, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, customers, competition, and publics. And from the micro-environmental analysis, nandiyan naman ang strengths and weaknesses. Okay? So, ma-identify natin yung strengths and weaknesses ng company. And from there, ma-analyze na natin kung ano yung market natin. Okay? Yung ating dapat na supposed to be market. So, andyan yung market size, yung market needs, at saka market trends. Tapos, mapo-formulate na natin ngayon yung marketing objectives. Tapos, pag na-set na natin yung marketing objectives, yon. So, makakagawa na tayo ng marketing strategy. So, ito yung mga included doon, no? Products or services strategy, target market, brand positioning, Tapos, yung pricing strategy, distribution strategy, at saka advertising and promotions strategy. Tapos, ito na yung last part banda, no? Yung tactical implementation, marketing budget, feedback and control, and financial projections. So, iisa-isahin natin yan, okay? Para well-guided kayo. Pero sandali lang, may sisilipin lang ako kasi baka mamaya mayroon na mga nagpapa-shoutout. So far naman, mga nagpapa-shoutout lang sa akin, mga kasamahan ko, hi sa inyo, sila Sir Niedo, hi, nako, yung mga bumabati dyan, sila Sir Richard Maranan, mga kasama ko, no, tsaka sila Sir Elmore Rendon, yan, si Sir Jess Tuwin, hi sa inyo. Okay, so mabalik tayo. So let's now proceed to complete each part of the plan. So first, actually ito yung first part na makikita, okay? Pero ironically, ito yung last na ginagawa natin sa mini marketing plan, the executive summary. So it is presented in a very concise manner. At ini-include neto ang marketing objectives, strategy recommendations, marketing budget, projected sales and profitability ng company. Okay? So ito kasi, usually, 1 to 2 pages lang to. Kasi nga, summary nga lang siya ng buong marketing plan, di ba? And it can only, yun nga, as I've said, ito yung huling-huli na kino-compose. Kasi kailangan, buo na yung marketing plan kapag ito ay kinompose. Okay? So next is the study background. So binibigyan natin ng idea what the company is all about. Kung ano man yung ating pinili na company or product brand, di ba? Okay? And then, i-state natin yung mission and vision. Bakit nga ba? Ano importance nun? Kasi, para pag binasa natin yung mission and vision ng company, alam ng readers o ng audience na doon lilin towards yung inyong marketing plan. Kung ano man ang content ng marketing plan ninyo. Okay? Next ay yung product offerings na mayroon yung company, di ba? So, andun yung list ng product offerings. And aside from that, pwede nyo ring i-describe bawat isa. Tapos pati yung mga suggested retail prices ng bawat produkto. Okay? And then afterwards, magko-conduct na tayo ng macro-environmental analysis. Pag sinabi nating macro, bigger picture, bigger environment ng inyong company. So, dyan ngayon papasok ang PESTEL analysis. And the first one is the political. So, here are the points to take into account. No? Yung government regulations, no, ng country na nasasakupan ng brand or ng company, yung taxation non, trade policies, yung import restrictions. Next is the economic. So ito yung mga key points nun, no? Yung mga factors to consider. Yung interest rates, yung unemployment rate, inflation rates, current economic stability, and purchasing power. Next is the social factors, no? Here are the points to take into account. Yung demographic data, yung consumer trends, population growth, income levels, at saka yung consumer lifestyles. Yan yung mga i-write ninyo, no? Kung yung content dapat nito. Next is the technological. So, ibig sabihin nito, ano nga ba ang technological advancement na meron na doon sa country na nasasakupan ng inyong brand or inyong company, di ba? So, andiyan, itatakal ninyo yung innovation ng technology nila, yung automation na meron yung company, yung artificial intelligence kung meron man, yung level ng innovation nila, mataas ba, mababa ba? Cyber crimes, kung meron man, sila na-encounter, and also the robotics. Next is the environmental or ecological. So, ano nga ba yung, or ano yung mga factors na nakaka-affect sa kanila? Like yung climate change, di ba? Nakaka-apekto yon sa pag-produce ng goods. Yung consumer health, di ba? Yung availability ng energy na ginagamit para makaproduce ng goods, yung sustainability, yung waste management rules and regulations na pinapractice ng company, and also yung green practices nila. Okay. Last, yung legal factors. So here are the points to take into account. Andyan yung trading laws, consumer protection laws, employment laws. Siyempre, may mga tao din sila na hinahire, di ba? Para ma-produce yung goods o yung mga magsasell ng goods nila, at saka yung sa back office, yung copyright and patent laws. Nako, lalo na, na-discuss ko before yung trademark infringement, di ba? Tapos yung health and safety laws. Yan. So yan yung macro environmental analysis kapag inano natin. So from there, ngayon, ma-identify na natin ano yung opportunities na pwede natin i-take advantage and yung threats na pwede natin pag-ingatan. Okay? So enumerate natin yan in chronological manner. So pag sinabi natin chronological manner, it is according to the level of priority. Diba? At saka maganda kung i-relate natin sila from each other or with each other. Okay? So ang example na sinat ko rito is a threat which is like an increase in inflation rate can directly affect the prices of raw materials, thus cause higher production costs, decrease margins, and eventually increase prices of products to compensate. Yan yung example ko. Okay? So, ano pa nga ba? Okay, sandali lang ha. So ngayon, proceed naman tayo sa micro-environmental analysis. So ito na yung closer environment or yung smaller environment ng company itself or the brand itself. So, syempre, i-discuss natin kung ano yung tungkol sa company. Okay? So, sasabihin natin kung ano yung capability niya na mag-implement ng marketing strategies, also yung mga functional areas or functional departments, i-evaluate natin bawat isa kung gaano sila ka-supportive doon sa marketing activities na meron sila. Okay? And also, we're going to evaluate here the company's financial statements through SEC website. Pwede natin kasi din ma-search yung info doon. And then next natin itatakal ay yung suppliers, di ba? Kung gaano kaganda ba yung relationship between the company and its suppliers, no? So kasi ang objective kasi neto is pagdating sa supplier, ang goal natin ay ma-reduce yung cost at saka ma-increase yung value sa customers. Okay? Or product value to customers. Next is the marketing intermediaries. Okay? So, yan, nandito na yung place, ang tinutukoy, di ba? So, andyan na yung paano dinidistribute yung product. So, how the distribution network is, di ba? Ano itsura niya? Ano illustration niya? Tapos, nagdadaan pa ba siya sa different intermediaries? Like the wholesaler, retailer, or direkta na siya sa consumer? Yon, kailangan i-state mo rin doon kung paano ang distribution. Okay? Next, yung customers naman. Sino nga ba ang kinikater nyo currently na customers? Okay? In terms of geography, yung demography, and psychographic. Diba? Pag sinabi kasi natin geographic, andyan yung tipo province, region, municipality. Diba? Area. Tapos pag sinabi natin kasing demographic, we're talking about the age, race, sex, educational attainment, anything about the customers, di ba? Yung profiling ng customers. Next naman is the psychographic. So, pag sinabi natin psychographic, andyan yung lifestyle, yung attitude, yung habits, yung interest ng customers. Okay? So, in short, bottom line, yung profile, pinaka-profile ng customers na kinikater ninyo. And also, yung buying behavior din nila, ina-analyze natin, no? Ano nga bang current buying behavior nila? How recent they buy? How frequent do they buy? Yan. Paano ba nila ginagamit yung products natin? Saan ba nila ginagamit? Something like that, okay? Next is the competition. Siyempre, importante rin na pag-aralan natin kung sino ang ating mga competitors. Okay? So, ang maganda niyan, kung present natin yan, is in a manner ng gagawa tayo ng perceptual map. So, I don't know kung nare-recall ninyo perceptual map. Ang other term for that is the position position map. Okay? So, yung market positioning niya or yung positioning ng isang produkto ay pinaplot natin, no? In the axis, yung ang lumilitaw X and Y axis, no? Pinaplot natin para alam natin in the minds of the consumer, ano nga ba position nun? Mataas ba, mababa ba in terms of certain attributes. Okay? And also, what else? In that way, syempre, malalaman din natin kung ano marketing strategies na ginagawa ng ating competitors, di ba? In a way, magbe-benchmark tayo. Ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng benchmarking? Titingnan natin kung ano pwede natin i-adapt, di ba? Sabi nga nila, kapag ikaw daw ewan ko lang, parang naririnig ko lang, kung ikaw daw ay gagaya, syempre gumaya ka na sa maganda, parang ganon, di ba? Huwag mong gagayahin yung alam mong mali or hindi maganda, di ba? Okay, next. Publics naman, okay? Ano nga ba yun, important daw na pinag-aaralan din natin yung company's relationship with its public. So, anong public sa pinag-uusapan natin dito? Yung corporate stockholders, community, financial institutions, media, government, and society as a whole. Okay? So, ito yung mga external factors na pwede talagang maka-directly affect sa company mo. Okay, so syempre na-analyze na natin yung microenvironment nung company, di ba? Through analysis. So, ngayon, malalaman na natin yung ating strengths and weaknesses. I-identify na natin yan. Okay? So, ganun din, the same thing, i-arrange natin siya in chronological manner. So, according to level of priority. And let's relate them directly with each other. Eh di syempre, nagawa na natin yung SWOT analysis. O doon na natin ngayon mapag-aaralan yung the market, okay, that we cater. And what we are planning to cater, di ba? So first is the market size. So paano, ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng market size? So ito yung total market, kabuang market, no, na kinikater natin. Hindi lang natin actually, but overall, pati ng ating competitors. Okay? So it is expressed either in units or in value in peso. In pesos. Okay? Next is the market needs. Ano nga bang kailangan ng ating market? 'Di ba? The needs and the wants. And also, kung yung perceived value nila doon sa product. Pag sinabi natin kasing perceived value, okay? So ito yung customer's evaluation ng merits of a product. Yung kung gaano siya kasulit sa customers or gaano siya ka-valuable doon sa customer. Kasi there are some customers who are really willing to pay for a product na kahit pricey siya. Bakit? Kasi ganun kalaki yung perceived value sa kanya ng produkto. Okay? Pero may iba naman, aminin naman natin, piso na nga lang, medyo nagtitipid pa, ayaw pa nilang bilhin, no? Piso na nga lang yung halaga. Ano yung perceived value, okay? So, depende yan sa level ng priority ng consumer. Ika nga. Okay? So, ano pa ba? Last is anything that alters the market your operates in. So, ibig sabihin ng market trend, ano na ba ang ano natin ngayon? Ano na ba nauuso? Ano na ba malakas ngayon? Ano ba ang season niyang product na yan? Peak season ba niya ng gantong petsa or gantong month? Mahina siya ng ganitong particular months? Lean season niya ng ganito? Yon. So, yun yung the market trend. Okay? So, gagawa tayo ng usually kasi we do market trend analysis. So, ano nga ba yon? It is a process of evaluating the changes to your market. Yung pagbago-bago ba nung frequency, recency, at basta in terms of market, ng behavior ng consumer mo, pinag-aaralan mo kung gaano kalakas ba siya sa particular season na yon. So, important pala yon. Nakikita natin yung trend. Okay. So, from there, na-identify na natin ngayon yung ating market. Set na natin ngayon yung marketing objectives natin. Okay? Yung gusto nating i-achieve, no? For all our marketing activities na i-formulate. Okay? So, andyan yung i-state natin yung marketing objectives. Gagamitin natin guideline yung SMART. Ano nga ba ang SMART? Naku, tinuro ko na yun. Pag nakalimutan niya, magtatampo talaga ako. Lagi ko inuulit-ulit ang SMART. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin daw nito ay S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time-bound. Okay? So, kailangan daw ganun yung guideline ng pag-formulate mo ng marketing objectives mo. Example nito ay ito, okay? To attain a brand awareness level of 65% by December 31, 2023. Okay? O di syempre, naset na natin yung marketing objectives natin. Heto na. Okay? Medyo parang pa-challenging yung parts, no? Syempre, formulate na tayo ng marketing strategies. Gagalawin na natin ngayon yung 4 Ps. Okay? Basta, pag sinabi natin marketing strategies, ano yung mga gagawin or action plans natin sa 4 Ps natin. Okay, so for part A, product nga. Okay, product strategy. So indicate natin kung ano man ang innovations na plano nating i-implement, kagaya ng pag-change ng packaging, ng label, supplements, doon sa product offerings mo, o kaya even yung positioning, binabago, o kaya rebranding, yon isa rin yon, di ba? Na changes na pwede natin gawin sa produkto. Okay? So, pwede rin nating i-identify yung product's unique selling proposition. So, ano nga ba yun? It is the one thing that makes your brand unique over your competitors. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng USP or unique selling proposition. Bakit nga ba kakaiba yung iyong brand or yung product over your competitors? So far ba, may tanong ba? Wala naman ba? Okay, so pop lang kayo ng question ha. I'm just waiting. Okay, next. Okay, punta naman tayo ngayon sa, so may another term pa pala, no, under that. So, it's really important also na, teka lang ha, tama ba ako na na-click? Okay, so pati yung target market natin, ano na rin, i-consider na rin natin dito, i-quantify natin yung size ng target market natin, tapos yung brand positioning natin, i-state natin kung ano yung current positioning ng brand. Okay? So, for the next part, yung pricing strategies natin. Di ba naturo ko na rin kung ano yung different pricing strategies? Balikan natin yung mga yun, di ba? Okay, so it is possible na mag-implement daw tayo ng different pricing strategies for particular brand. O example ko dito, during the first part of the year daw, ang ini-implement nilang pricing strategy ay yung going rate pricing. Ibig sabihin ng going rate pricing, itinutulad o nilalapit nila sa SRP ng competitors nila yung presyo ng produkto nila. But in the latter part of the year, they decided na gamitin ang promotional pricing or discounted pricing. Okay? Next is the distribution strategy. Okay? So, for example, ito yung existing ninyong channel distribution network, di ba? So, ito yung inyong system. Ika nga, di ba? So, parang kayo, nag-propose kayo na medyo babaguhin natin yung implementation ng distribution ninyo. Okay? So, yun, ilalatag nyo yun doon. And then, after ninyo nilatag yung plans ninyo for the 4 Ps, yung marketing strategies ninyo, heto na, di-develop na tayo ng more concrete action plans under tactical implementation part. Okay? So, magdi-develop kayo ng tactics for each strategy. So, briefly, di-discuss mo lang siya and usually in a form of a table. Okay? So, ito yung example na may bibigay ko sa inyo. Okay? Andyan yung tactics, yung operating details, at saka yung timetable o timeline. Okay? Na when niyo siya dapat magawa. Okay? So, Next is the marketing budget. Yan, ako, importante ang usapang pera pagdating sa pag-implement ng plans. Kasi kailangan, pag i-present mo ito sa upper management, kailangan ma-justify mo talaga yung budget. Kailangan, pag nakita nila yung figures, alam nila sa sarili nila na may patutunguhan ang gagastusan nila or gagastusan ng company. Okay? Kaya nga dapat talaga ang marketing plan niyo is very detailed and very organized para wala na sila masyadong tanong-tanong. Or may tanong man, madali nyo ma-address, di ba? Okay, so ito yung example ng pag-present ng marketing budget. Okay, so yan, inisa-isa ko yung advertising expenses, tapos yung gastos sa mga advertisement, like the leaflets, yung mga materials na gagamitin, point of purchase materials, yung sales promotions, yan. So, ipipresent nyo kung ano yung mga gagamitin nyo sa marketing activities niyo. Okay? And then, after nun, after implement yon, magkakaroon syempre dapat ng feedback and control. So, paano nyo gagawin daw kamo yung monitoring nung mga action plans o yung proposed activities ninyo? So, kailangan ilatag ninyo doon. Kasi syempre questionable naman kung implement lang nyo tapos wala nang feedback and control, di ba? Okay? Yon. So, ito yung example na may bibigay. Medyo maliit lang yung font. Pasensya na. Okay. So, basahin ko lang. So, action plan. Hire and train Cebu store personnel. So, yung timetable niya, September 2022 siya dapat gawin. So, dito naka-detailed yung kung ano man yung ginawa nilang feedbacking, no? And controlling. So, by the end of August 2022, basahin ko na lang kasi maliit. By the end of August 2022, personnel required for all positions in the Cebu store should already have been screened and pre-qualified. If this deadline will not be met, the company should contact a local employment office to fill in missing positions. At the latest, this should be completed by September 10. Training should commence immediately on September 12 to be completed by September 28. At this point, the company should subject all who have completed the necessary training to standard performance appraisal to determine which trainees will be hired. By September 30, the trainees should be informed of their hiring status. If there are no qualified trainees for a specific critical positions such as assistant store manager and store inventory supervisor, qualified employees from the Manila store shall be flown into temporarily for unfilled occupy this position. Continuous recruitment, requalification, and training for unfilled Cebu store positions shall continue. By October 30, however, all vacant positions should be filled. Yan. So, I hope na screenshot na to example ko. Okay. Last, actually, ito na yung last sa pagkakaalam ko. Ayun, okay, tumama naman ako. So, ang last ay yung financial projections, which is a pinakamadugong part ng marketing plan or business plan, which madalas na scrutinize ng mga panelists. Kaya dapat talaga ay sobrang keen kayo sa details, sobrang organized, and at the same time talagang pinag-isipan, talagang detailed ang pagkakalatag ninyo neto sa marketing plan. Okay? Kasi dito, pinipresent niyo ang financial viability ng inyong proposed marketing plan. Okay? So usually, ang pinagbabasihan natin nito ay yung latest incoming statement ng company. Okay? So that's it. So ito yung learning activity na ibibigay ko sa inyo, which I think, pati yung teachers niyo, most probably, ito rin yung ibibigay sa inyo. Okay? So you are to prepare a brief 15-minute PowerPoint presentation of your mini marketing plan. So include only important information in your presentation such as a brief history of your company, the brand you have made a mini marketing plan of, opportunities and threats facing your company and selected brand, strengths and weaknesses of your company and selected brand, market size and needs, market trends, marketing objectives, your brand's target market, your brand's positioning, your proposed marketing strategies for your selected brand, your proposed marketing budget, and financial projection. So yan yung mga dapat na included sa inyong mini marketing plan. Okay, so for next week kasi no, I will be showing you a demo of how an oral defense looks like, 'di ba? So ayan. So, yan, pinag-usapan na rin lang natin oral defense. Ito na rin yung guide. Okay? So, ito yung guide on how you will do your oral defense for your marketing plan. Okay? Prepare yourself for an oral defense of your mini marketing plan before a panel of academicians and or marketing practitioners. And after you have gone through the oral defense of your marketing plan, do a self-assessment of your performance. Note the strong and weak points of your marketing plan. Think of ways on how you can improve on or address the weaknesses pointed out during the activity. So good luck on your presentation. So I do hope no na nakatulong ang aking mga itinuro sa session na ito. Ayan. So we're done. We're done. We're really done, 'di ba? So, eto ulit, no, si Tutor Malo sa inyo nakakasama every Fridays, 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., no? And ito, ang QR code wherein kapag tinapatan nyo yung camera, i-direct kayo sa link wherein mabibigyan nyo ako ng feedback sa aking serbisyo. So, I hope, no, please lang, very important sa akin ang inyong feedback. Thank you so much. So, ang ating topic for next week ay yung the marketing plan presentation. So, I do hope no na magkita-kita tayo ulit next week. So, ito ulit si Tutor Malo. Nagpapaalam sa inyo. Hanggang sa muli. Bye!